Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good morning out there. Let's see. I see we got Roy in here. We got Teresa in here. We've got Georgie, Tim, Redzilla. Welcome. Ammo's girl. Ammo's girl sends me some funny stuff from time to time. I enjoy it. Hey, I tried telling you, TC, you know, you, you start running down what works. I don't do every stream about the hails. And some of my videos don't get a ton of play, but I do know there's a core group of people who enjoy certain content, and that becomes for them. What I want to do with my next, hey Coop, good morning. What I want to do with the next veteran cocktails is I want to do some Christmas cocktails. I'm thinking mulled wine and the Tom and Jerry. And of course, it's going to have the skipper's humor. Oh, the memes. Yeah, the memes are the best. I love the memes. If you guys like, I know I get a lot of people who send me stuff. If you really want my attention, send me memes, because then I'm in meme groups. Like, I enjoy the memes. Sorry, I'm looking. Someone said, please tell me LP is not moving in across from me. They just delivered a blue porta potty. Bucket shitters everywhere. Bucket shitters for life. Dipping in and out as I'm washing up on duty. Well, catch the replay, Gary. Appreciate you being here. Here's this friggin' cat again. What do you want? What do you want? Hmm? What can I do for little Mr. Kitty? As I bang into my gong. Oh, TC, did you see that? We have a gong now. I need to get a big one. I want to put it out. I'm considering doing a stone wall in the front of my house and having a gate because I don't want people coming up to my house. And my mom was like, "Well, you're gonna have to put in a doorbell." I'm like, "No, I'll just buy a gong. Just have a gong hanging, and people can come beat on the gong." I'm out in the desert. Who cares? Who cares? Love that baby. That baby is a pain in the ass. In fact, he's staring at the cat or staring at the dog right now. They're both on the bed. This will end up as a wrestling match. See, a part of me wishes I had another camera, and I could do another camera pointed that way, so then I can show them when they're like playing, and you guys can see it. Problem is, people are going to immediately assume that the reason I've got a webcam pointed at my bed is for uh, for videos of romantic time, which yeah doesn't really happen here. DJ Rada says hello, Daddy Skipper. That's a little bit weird for me. I've even when women like when they're like, "Oh, Daddy," to me, it's just a little bit weird. It's if it's your thing, fine. You need to have someone standing in the studio to hit that thing every time you try to tell a joke. Oh, I should buy you one. So during the show, you can you can gong me. Maybe I should put the paper bag and do the unknown comedian and just tell all my bad jokes. Sorry, I just got distracted by something actually that TC had posted about FedEx drivers in Minnesota. Yeah, women calling me daddy, it's just weird. You know, now if it's a 20-something-year-old goth girl, she can do whatever she wants. Nah, it you do I did have one Marine's wife. Their marriage was falling apart, and I was the company commander, and she just always wanted to talk to me. And I was married at the time, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is no." And I just started keeping my distance. Uh, Sorry, I was distracted. There's a thing here. Dave Portnoy, he owns Barstool Sports. I think he's really smart for starting it. Reveals his estranged wife has full access to all of his 150 million. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Uh, if she is sufficiently younger, then that isn't weird. But if she's older, then it's weird. Yeah, something about a lot of older women like me. I don't know what it is. What it is about me. Of course you do, Georgie. Of course you do. Georgie's a little freak. Uh, we have fun on this show. So, I got to show this. I posted this. Uh, this is on X, where I posted it. Uh, Sex crazed workers at troubled VA facility had 12-person orgy and added official bedded 30 one official bedded 32 coworkers, bombshell probe. And I put, that's cool. At mine, they just screw up my benefits and healthcare. But apparently, this one was in Tennessee. They were just effing everybody there. When they were done effing each other, they effed over the veterans. They think you are older too. I mean, look at you. Actually, I've been telling people have been telling me since I shaved, they think I'm younger. I got to shave today though. I look rough, rough. But I will before I head into the office. I'm looking at all the news and information today. Actually, I want to look at the legal news first. Um, am I following you guys on social media? If not, make sure I am. Rosalind, I enjoy watching Rosalind streams when she's making t-shirts. Um, ba, 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 ba. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor is under fire today for seemingly dismissing medical concerns over the risk of puberty blockers and gender surgeries for minors with comparison to taking aspirin. Hmm. Ooh, Tug had he put this. Anyone buying Hawktaw meme coins is a moron. Haley Welch says, "Spit on that thing so you invest millions." Well, it's already it went way up and it's already cratered out. So when that happens, the suckers are already gone. Um, like now, I would probably buy it. I don't buy. I actually will buy meme coins, but I'll buy like $100, and it's like if I lose $100, I don't care. Like, do you know how fast I can lose $100 in my normal day? Like me and my son at Dave and Buster's just pumping money into machines. So yeah, like for a purely speculative investment like that, yeah, I'll put 100, and that's I in March of 2020, I was on a tight budget, but I dipped a little bit into my emergency fund. And if you guys aren't following Dave Ramsey and what he teaches about emergency funds, that is probably the best advice out there. All these other financial guys they don't really focus on people who are living paycheck to paycheck and people who also aren't able to live paycheck to paycheck. They're like, that doesn't even help. Uh, you should be doing emergency funds, even if it's $100, $200, because emergencies will come up. And when you build those emergency funds up, it does eventually get better. Um, but I love it when people text me when they know I'm on. It's like, okay. Um, but yeah, so I dipped even a little bit into my emergency fund back in March of 2020, and I bought meme coins, and I paid $200, and then last year it had shot up to over $1,000, and I took out my initial investment. I got my $200 back. So now everything in there is pure profit, and as of this morning, it was over 1,800. So speculation can pay off. Just don't do it with money that you're not. So yeah, 1882 is where it's at. So it's going to cross 1900 today. And that's all profit. Why is this not? There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Spawn Trooper.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's happening? What's going on? What's doing? What you doing? What you doing?
Oh my God, TC is such a smartass. He immediately freaking. I say, yeah. I don't you love it when people text me when I'm on live, and he immediately freaking texts me. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching his stream for about for an hour now, I think it is.
You know,
Yeah.
TC, I've been working on him for the last couple of years. He's not as serious as he used to be, but I did enjoy, like, when we first brought him on. He brought a level of seriousness to the show, and that's why I love TC. We're a good dichotomy, me and him. But now he's doing all of his Freedom Flock streams.
Just sent you a message. Ho ho, fucking ho.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. It's not going to change anything.
No, it's not.
Mayor Dan. Mayor Dan. I laugh because my grandmother was from Appalachia, and still, even though she lived in Ohio many years, she still had a little bit of the accent in it. And she would say, "Mayor." Well, go talk to the mayor. She would say water and worse. Pennsylvania Appalachian accent. TC is AVA's baby daddy.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. So yeah. Yes.
I'm just FYI, I'm probably not going to be on here long today.
No. It's okay. It's okay. So, Mayor Dan's here. Hello.
Only because a buddy of mine, his car broke down, so I've been letting him ride in with me to work. So I'm punching someone else's time clock.
Yeah. Yeah, and someone's back on my radar. But that's another thing. Yeah, what was I going to say? What do you think? Let me ask you a question. In regards of the deposition, because I've been doing a little bit of research in law, in
Mhm.
American law, and I find it quite interesting that a pro hac vice, or someone who's an assistant to the actual lawyer who is dealing with the actual court case. So basically, you have the client or the defendant or plaintiff. Then you have the plaintiff and defendant will have their own lawyer assigned to them, or who they've chosen to be their lawyer. And then you have the pro hac vice, that is basically an assistant who can then, on behalf of the lawyer, if he's running late or he's not there, that pro hac vice then can stand in until that main lawyer arrives
And ask questions. Yeah.
and ask questions and everything else.
Mm.
So, two questions. One, why was it yesterday when the motion went in regards about the audio transcript of the deposition, Lynette's lawyer, for the first time ever, wrote pro hac vice onto his document, an official document? Secondly, why is he doing the deposition when it should be the main lawyer who should be doing the deposition?
Well, Rosalind has a correction. Pro hac vice is actually pro hac vice because it's Latin. So I know.
All right then, vice. Let's pro hac vice.
Uh,
Sorry, Rosalind. Be nice to me.
I mean, it's all in what the judge wants to allow. It's probably not going to be a big deal.
I know as well. No, it's not a big deal. But one thing I have noticed, though, yes, exactly. I totally agree with you. When obviously Attorney Socket, informed counsel that he was going to contact a judge, why would a counsel suddenly panic and say, "Oh no, don't call the judge"?
Only reason to panic and not want to call the judge is because you're scared. Only reason.
What the fuck was that? That sounded like anyway.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has sort of like got my attention to this actual deposition because there's a lot wrong with it than there is right.
Hmm.
You know, how quick he was able to write that motion. You know, the fact that he must have been writing it while he was asking Jeremy questions, or it was already pre written.
Um, I mean,
Speculation.
it wasn't. We're not talking that it was. It's not some legal opinion that's going to, change the world or anything. This isn't
Mm,
something. This isn't a scholarly opinion that 20 years from now is going to be cited. So I think he just wrote it very quickly. Um, uh, Most lawyers, as I've read, as I've been following various court cases over the years, most lawyers are not good writers. I'll say that. Uh,
hmm
they're very much like when I would read military manuals, very much written like that. And in some ways, military manuals are written better because while military manuals you have to write at a third grade level because the average soldier has to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
They've also gone through multiple rounds of editing, whereas with lawyers, motions and stuff doesn't. Um, so yeah, I think he just wrote it very quickly. Uh,
hmm
I think he was also pissed. That's where this is where Jeremy has him is you don't do things, and you should know this. I'm sure you do as former
hmm
military. You don't decisions made under emotion are almost always not the best ones.
I've always been saying that. Never let your emotions take control of your decisions or choices you make.
And as we've already seen, Bubbles is an emotional attorney. He
Very.
has lots of feelings,
Mm.
and yeah, uh, I think that's to his detriment. And yeah, I don't think this motion is I don't think it's I think the judge is just going to look at it and be like I don't even think it's going to be ruled on until the very very end, and that's what judges do with emotions that they just don't care about and find annoying.
And also, the thing is, the difference between military doctrine and appendixes and additions and updates, there is no gray area in military code. It is basically black and white. It's T's are crossed, I's are dotted, full stops. There's no gray area. So basically, if you are charged with a crime or you are charged for dereliction of duty or anything else, there are certain pages in the doctrine of the military code,
Mhm,
and it's basically page 15. Then you go to page 28, then so and so and so. Then it's page section 52, this, that, and there's no gray area. It's basically it's like a color by code, color by numbers, so to speak.
mhm.
Um, and it's also like in the British Army. I'm unaware
It's
of
supposed to
your charge.
go just like if the witness was on the stand, and
Yeah,
if it's supposed to all be as if you were actually in the courtroom. If it goes off the rails, it's normally the attorneys who are held accountable.
yeah, and also it's I don't know about the military, the system in the U.S. military. What I do know in the British military, the first thing you get is a warning, then a verbal, and then maybe sometimes a sanction. You know, you probably have to do like extra duties or something like that, and then because we've got the AGI system under the Armed Forces Act of 2006 and now 2009. All right, the AGI system, you can get sanctions on a minor, but however, if you get more than one minor or multiple minors, it can go to major, where you are then charged, which then you will end up in Colchester or you will end up in Aldershot in a court martial. So, but here, there's so many discrepancies over the last few months in not just his behavior but other people's behavior. Um, and multiple people have proven without question, without hindrance, that not just Bubbles, but the Fleas and Jabba the Hutt and Lynette and John have committed multiple crimes, have made defamative statements, and the fact that a lawyer has been on their platform and sort of enabling them instead of actually educating them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right here, this, and that's why I put up Lisa's comment, because the 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 message that Chart showed that pretty much said he wanted to create an anti-Hales ecosystem.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's when he's crossing lines as an attorney, and I'm sure that's the moment when Randy Shockett was like, okay, now we can add him to the case. They had to probably reach out to Shara, get that message, um, the electronic copy of it, uh, so that they could prove via the metadata, prove that it's unaltered, where it came from, all that stuff, and that's the undoing. You
Yeah. And the
again,
thing is,
that's why you
and
don't
one
let
thing
emotion dictate.
exactly, and what excuse me. Lastly, this goes for everybody. Just because of the motion that was put in by the opposition council and what was said in different videos or comments made by both sides, all you've heard is snippets of the actual event. So don't assume, don't make assumptions until you've heard it from A to Z, because if you make assumptions and you get it wrong, then the shit fest starts from scratch again. And from what my personal opinion, I think that council went in there with the attitude he's had over the last few months, and said quite a few things that were probably not appropriate. And obviously, Jeremy, being the person he is, told him to shut up. And
Mhm.
then anything what was said in between and after and before, and for Randy Socket to stand up and say, right, this is now going to happen. Let's not speculate. Let's just you know
And when people talk about sanctions, rarely I've seen so many motions for sanctions, and rarely have I ever seen them actually implemented. Like they might hold the motion, but like not whatever the motion is might not sanction in the way that the motion asks for. Judges again have to always be reasonable. They have to be neutral. Um, Most times, especially when it's on an attorney's um, actions, they do not hold the sanctions. They might,
Mhm.
reprimand them and stuff like that, but rarely do they hold and actually put in sanctions. Very few times have I seen that. It does happen, but very few times.
Right. The
And
question. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Right. I've got a question for you. On multiple occasions, you've been threatened indirectly and directly. You have been harassed directly and indirectly. So has Megan Fox, and so has Shara. What is the best next step for you, Shara and Megan, to do in regard? And sorry, let me rephrase that. And so has Squid, and so has the Wilburns. So multiple people have been harassed, stalked, or
Mhm.
harassed, more like, and threatened with frivolous threats of legal repercussions. What will be the next steps for yourself? You can speak for yourself, but I know for a fact I know you can't speak for other people. But what will be, um, if you want to discuss it, what will be the next steps for you, sir?
Well, I can tell you that one of the people you mentioned uh, does have an attorney and has done a bar complaint. I can tell you that one of the people have done that.
Yeah,
Uh,
Roger that.
we all know that Squid has made a police report.
Hmm.
As far as it pertains to Lisa, I have made a police report. Um, for me and my attorney, I don't like to telegraph my punches.
Yep,
Uh,
I hear you. I hear you.
we've had a plan. Uh, we were waiting for an event. That event has now passed. So now we're ready to execute. I just haven't. A trump card is always strongest before you play it.
Hmm.
So I do have what I would say is a trump card, and I haven't played it yet. I'm just waiting and watching um, me doing the police report. You know, again, you don't want to run into court. You don't want to have to do a lot of this stuff. You want to do it as a last resort. But
Hmm.
while that before you do that, you want to show police reports. You want to show that you did things to try to stop it,
Yeah, you
because
want to show a pattern of events.
there are times where you have to run into court and say stop doing this, and that's where like someone like Lynette, she found out Jeremy was going into court, so she immediately ran into court because that was her only option. Um, you That's not a good spot to be in. It's driven out of panic. Um, and as you see, it rarely ever works out.
Mm.
Uh, so I take the same tact as Jeremy. I will say, look, if you do these things, I will take action. I'll
Hmm.
sit back, I'll wait, and that's when if this comes to be being in front of a judge, um, talking about this, it will then be a very last resort, and I will be able to show the court that I have been the most reasonable party, um, trying to end things before they escalate.
Hmm. I've got another question for you. I'm not sure if you can remember or if people in the audience can remember. A few years back, Mr. Hales had a property in Milwaukee or in Ohio somewhere, and it was like a warehouse, and the property was sold or bought by someone or a lady or someone owned it, and the lady ran out or sort of fell out with the other owner of that property and then bought him out, or I don't know what exactly happened in that relationship. However, um, excuse me, Jeremy had to richly call the police and get a record and then go to court to fight this lady. Um, would you say that the would would you say that that situation with that case has similarities of the case we are now discussing, or the case in general of what's going on now, besides the
Um,
grift?
I mean, no, because that was a situation where that was purely civil.
Hmm.
It was a business disagreement. There were contracts in play. Um, so yeah, that was, and that, to my knowledge, that never crossed into criminal. With what John Lynette have done, it crossed very quickly into criminal, and you actually saw that in the text messages that Shara
Hmm.
put in her video yesterday. Some of those were back from July and June, and you saw where, like the one where Lynette was like, "I need to be able to sue him." Uh, you should not be trying to create a case to sue someone. That shows that everything is being manipulated and preempted. Uh,
So basically, like, because I spent I spent about an hour reading, pausing it, reading everything, and I found it very interesting that it was not just Lynette premeditating legal reactions and stuff like that, but also someone called John Goddard. Even though we didn't see his surname, that is basically him, where he states that we should crucify him. We should, crucify him put him on a cross. So everything that those messages show is a premeditated
mhm.
character assassination and also potential fraud and deception.
The character assassination doesn't come with criminal, but it's definitely civil. It's like this is where the leeches don't understand the law. They keep saying, "Oh, that's defamation. Jeremy's going to jail." You can't go to jail over defamation unless if you're breaking a court order type thing, where you've been ordered not to talk about someone. and then you do it anyway. Um, defamation is clearly civil. It's fully within the realm of civil law. You shouldn't defame someone, and especially if they send you a cease and desist, you shouldn't ignore it. Which is what John Lynette said, and also publicly stated their lawyer told them to do, which is funny because they didn't have a lawyer at that time.
That's another thing that I found quite funny. I must admit, I did have a little bit of a giggle when I heard that. I mean, you represent yourself in court, but prior to that, way before that, you say, "Oh, my lawyer told me." So what? You walked outside your camper van and spoke to one of the ducks, and the duck went, and then that was your advice, was it? Um, can now all I presume that everything that that Shara is. I mean, I didn't at first. I thought Shara was a snake, but I think my opinion about her is exactly the same as with Slug, who's back on my radar, by the way. I think that what she's doing is commendable. I think what she's doing is really good because this is the third side that none of us have ever seen. We've speculated and we've sort of guessed this is what's happened from from different
I think
screen.
Cheryl learned a lot. I think she learned a lot from this case. Learned that sources can 100% burn you. Now, I'll say this: she was smart enough to keep all of the messages. Like
Mhm.
said this: I will go to print with a story. Go to print, like come on here with a story if I have a source who has put it in writing, because I can always prove if someone tries to sue me, I can always prove, nope, here's where I got the information. And because of that, I had a reasonable belief. If someone goes to talk to a journalist of any such and, says, this is what happened, I should reasonably be able to believe them because it's not it's not gossiping because they're bringing it to me knowing I'm probably going to bring the story to air. But you should also always be careful because people will always try to use you whenever you have a platform. As we saw with Slug. If Slug is still in here, Slug was he was told things about me by people. They manipulated him. He
Mm.
then stuck his neck out. Uh,
And then
you know,
he found out about me.
uh, well, he found out about both of us, and thankfully, we're reasonable people.
Yeah.
That we didn't, and that's why I kept saying, "Just keep talking, dude." When he was biting me, I was like, "Just keep talking." I'm screenshotting everything.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do anything beyond that.
I mean, just for the record, I did ask your permission if I could seek and destroy. And what did you say?
oh, I said no need to do that.
That's just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury. But the most important thing I think is that I do believe that Shara now needs that support and that protection from these people because it's obvious that they're attacking her.
Mhm,
They're trying to drag her through the dirt. And yeah, she's a very unique individual,
mhm.
the way she types and everything. So God bless her. But I think that like people need to realize that she now comes under the official protection of us.
She, I mean, she was protected always by the First Amendment. The First Amendment here in the U.S. is very widespread. Anybody can be a journalist.
Mm.
There are people who are like, you're not a journalist. You didn't go to school for it. I've gone to school for it, and I'm the first one to say you do not need a journalism degree to be a journalist. You should learn journalist concepts and
Mhm.
study it on your own, but you don't need a degree to prove it. In fact, if you have a degree in other stuff, a newspaper will still hire you. Um, but there are things that you should learn about, definitely start learning about copyrights, defamation of character, because those are the things that legally you will come up against.
Mm.
Uh,
I do find it quite interesting that it would be I would love someone to contact Scott Skark and ask him if he thinks that having someone like Deuce working with him on this case would be future beneficial for him, considering that he's been a lawyer over 38 years. And obviously, he's got a reputation of his own. I'm not going to, at the end of the day, it's public knowledge. But the fact that his name has been falsely or wrongly put on the documents, and the fact that his name was used and also publicized on a hate campaign channel. I wonder what he would say to that.
I mean, I think he, like he can't. Whatever Bruce does at the end of the day is on Bruce. It's not really on him. So I think that's what he's banking on is that, yeah, Bruce screws this up. That's all on Bruce. I think that's the way he's taking it. He can't be held accountable for something someone else does.
Well, time will tell when it comes to the court, because I think that a council's behaviour and conduct, if it's unprofessional, I do believe they can actually bring that up in court. If I believe so, if a council has been unprofessional or has broken any of the ABA rules, I do believe that opposition counsel can mention that in court. I believe.
Yeah, but that's not going to be against Scott. That'll be against Bruce.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, I did send you that private message. I actually giggled when I read that.
This right here, okay, and we already have been through this with Tori because Tori admitted that she sent an email to Olight. I'll just tell you guys right now. If you're going to send emails, if you're going to send letters, and I've told you, send them to public officials. Never send to an auction school or anything like that, because you have a right to redress grievances with your government. So if you send them to public officials, public agencies, you can never be held liable for that. The moment you start sending them to private institutions and private companies, guess what? Now you're harassing. And we already saw that with Lynette and Mayor Dan. She was not redressing a grievance with Mayor Dan. She was just talking shit about Jeremy. Never do that. Always say, here's what's wrong. Here's what I would like to see fixed. There, or, like when I'm asking for an investigation, there you go. You're redressing a grievance. Just saying you need to disassociate yourself with that person. Well, Mayor Dan's a public official. Jeremy's part of the public. You can't do that. If you're telling that to a school, you are absolutely interfering with Jeremy's ability to make a living. And I know that's their goal, but guess what? You can be sued for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel sorry for Mayor Dan and whoever received that phone call or that email, because I can just imagine sitting in that office and hearing that voice or reading. Yeah, that was a no. That was a definite no. And Mayor Dan, I'm in training. Well, I'm doing my last test this weekend to become a counselor. So if you need to talk, I'm available. Pro se, I won't charge.
You know who I would love to talk with? The clerks in Mayor Dan's office.
Oh, God.
The ones who actually had to talk to her. I would love, because they'd be like, oh my God, she was insane.
Yeah, I mean, just from some of the phone calls, look, over the last 2.5 years, we've heard a lot of phone calls with Lynette on there, and I took all that and then just pictured what it was like in Mayor Dan's office when that call arrived. And I'm like, seriously, Mayor Dan, if you guys need to talk, you know where I am, right? It'll be confidential. Yeah, no problem. It'll be confidential. I just feel sorry for you. I really do. But I just can't. I mean, I'm never gonna understand the level of stupidity of these people that are doing this, and the fact that that deposition. I mean, you know, I think Deuce Boy is out of his depth on this one. I think with everything he's done over the last few months and everything he's said and everything that he's um, given to people who have got no legal background, they've got no importance on this.
I love that.
Yeah, it shows that like I said, I called it about what was going to happen at the depot, and I'm calling it now. I don't think he's going to have his license to practice law by the end of this case. And if he has, then you've got a serious problem in America.
That's funny, Bear Dan. let all those women know I have enjoyment just knowing that they got enjoyment.
Can you just picture? Can you just imagine the conversations after that when that phone call was done in Mayor Dan's office, where they just look at each other and they just shake their heads, going, "No, no, 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 I'm going home. No, that's it. I'm done. I quit. I'm going home."
Years ago, I was elected in an election, and I fulfilled a role. And I don't normally talk about this too much on the show, but I fulfilled a role. And one time during one of our meetings of the role I was filling, we had someone come in and scream at us, and it was like a scene out of Parks and Recreation. And let me just say, if you were to go watch the replay of it, I've got the biggest smile on my face. I loved every second of it.
Oh, by the way, I watched Ted.
What'd you
Yeah,
think?
you an asshole. You an asshole. I was like, you know what? He's fucking pulling my leg. He's doing that typical pull my leg, and I watched every single one of it, and I could not stop laughing. Oh god, it was so funny.
If you like the movies Ted and Ted 2, everyone go watch the series Ted. It's on Peacock. It is just like the movies. Exactly. They kept like it's a prequel and it's hilarious.
I mean, you just that family there reminded me of a couple of people.
Like the character Dennis. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
what's his name? The lad, the one who hangs out with. Oh my god.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. He's funny as hell. Then the sister, she seems to be the only normal one in the whole family.
How about when they got the bully to dress up in the sailor suits?
Yeah, Dad, Dad, and he came into the restaurant and he sat there.
Oh my god, I can't tell you how many times I had to pause that show the first time I watched it. And I've rewatched it already. It came out what? Not even a year ago, and I've watched it twice. It's only a 6 episode series, so
Oh
you can.
my god, it's funny.
I hope to God they do a second season, because it. But I the writers and everything because it was that funny.
The best
What
bit is that, like, wait a minute, wait, oh god, come on, remember. Was he sitting on the roof? Was it the roof?
Oh yeah, when he's on the roof of the house,
Yeah, he fucking falls off the roof.
throwing the eggs on the kids. Hey, man.
He says, "Oh, by the way, yeah, that's a good costume. Okay, you carry on." And the next kid, he gets a fucking egg smacked against.
The professor is a furry.
Yeah. Oh shit. I was watching it and I'm laughing. I've got my earphones on so I didn't disturb the wife. And she tapped me on the shoulder and she went, "What are you laughing at?" And I went, "Listen to this." And then within 10 minutes, she's fucking sitting on the couch, pissing herself laughing. Yeah, it was funny, mate. That was good. Excuse me.
I'm looking here. I believe Georgie's going to be going live soon, so I'm going to set up a redirect on this. because I will be ending this here in just a few minutes.
Yep.
But
I just might pop in and be serious for a second.
yeah, I do want to get this set up for. But I love that show. My brother was the first one to watch it, and he was like, "Dude, you've got to go watch this." He's like, and we love the movies. When I go home for Christmas, that's what we will be. It's one of the shows that we'll be watching and just laughing our asses off.
I mean, there's one that I'm looking forward to all to the Christmas programs like The Grinch and Die Hard. Yeah, yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! Yeah, I mean they're going to show all the same bloody Christmas films. You know what it's like.
I'm looking for the redirect. Okay, am I in? I got to go into the edit of it, correct?
I don't know.
Yep. Okay.
I think you have to go to customization when you're live.
No, I found it.
Okay.
Is legal mindset. Okay. I'm looking here. Sorry.
Why does it say 11 messages, but 11 comments? But when I look at it, it doesn't have fuck all.
Georgie, you have to give me redirect privileges. It's in your community settings. I see your stream, but yeah, you have to give me those privileges.
Birds of a feather flock together, and you know what my response was? Yes, they do, and chickens cannot fly.
Speaking of which, everyone check out TC's Freedom Flock.
Yes.
See how I segue there, and I get plugs in for people. Oh, we got 6 people watching on Rumble. Thank you, I appreciate it.
There you go. Oh, wait a minute.
Rumble integration is one thing I'm going to tell Restream they have to do a better job of doing.
Oh crap! I can't share the link. There we go. Here, it'll be. There's a big white chicken with sticking her ass in the camera right now, and there's another chicken to the left looking at her ass. That's no, she's moving closer to the bottom. Get away from the ass.
Here, I've got it here. This is TC's Freedom Flock.
I mean, look that other chicken to the left is richly eyeballing that ass. It's like bite it, go on. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at ass. Oh, yeah, booty call.
But they're females.
Hey, if he holds a goal.
If you guys are watching on Rumble, please give me a like there. I will appreciate it. Just show me a little bit of love.
Yeah, go and show people love.
Birds have fleas. They do. So do other animals.
Apparently, it can take up to 12 years for someone to get citizenship. I always thought it was 5 to 6 years because you have to be in a country for a minimum of 5 years.
In the U.S., they sometimes they change the. I don't think the current things have had any major changes since the 70s, but I am expecting new changes. Yeah, they do make changes from now and then.
Bye, Rosalind. Nice meeting you. I mean, I wonder if I should come over and become an American citizen.
You can. I served with a guy who had dual citizenship. His dad was from the UK. He had lived in the UK, and we were getting our clearances done at the same time, and they made him to get his top secret clearance. He had to renounce his UK citizenship, and as we were doing, he goes, "This is stupid." And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because the Queen." Because it was the Queen back then. He goes, the Queen never denies her subjects. He goes, I can renounce it all day long. To her, I'm still a British subject.
Yeah, because there's a
Yeah.
different, and this is where people actually get it wrong. There are two differences. You got a British citizen and a British subject. A British citizen is the person who is born in the UK, in any, maybe England, Scotland, Wales, or Ireland. A British subject is born in a Commonwealth country where they are legally entitled to a British passport, where it will say on there, you are a British subject. There's a difference, just so people know.
Yeah, I still can't redirect. So I can't redirect to you, Georgie. So we'll have to figure that one out. What I will do is I'll redirect everyone to the Freedom Flock. So, but I need to start wrapping this up. So,
Mhm.
are you? Uh, do you have anything to plug?
Just the same thing, like I say all the time. If it's with the weather change and everything, just show some love, pay it forward. You see a homeless person, it won't harm you. And anyone anyone from the Isles, if you have served or anything and you need to talk to someone, you got combat stress or SAFA. SAFA's phone number can be found if you Google it. And if you're on your own this Christmas, try to contact friends. Try to don't be alone. Okay.
Yeah. Sharon, I'll answer your question real quick. Doesn't DJ Redis have dual citizenship? He has legal status. He was married, legally married for several years, divorced, so he has a green card. He can be here legally. If he's here long enough, he can apply for citizenship. I'll have to take a test and show that he is an active and productive member of society. But yes, um, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end this because
Mhm.
I have to get going. Thank you, Spawn Trooper, for being here. I absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah, I
I
just
really-
wanted to come in, just to make sure that you didn't get the wrong idea last night. But I was about 1 second away from ripping someone's head and shitting down their throat. So I thought, yeah, I'd better leave.
um, but yeah, when this ends, it's going to redirect you guys to the Freedom Flock. So definitely check that out for a little bit. Show TC some love. Uh, give it some likes. And
Yeah, and AVA as well.
yeah, AVA, go check out one of AVA's videos today. We're trying to boost his watch time.
Have you got
So
his link?
um, I don't offhand.
Hang on, please stand. Please hold. I've got it for you.
Okay.
I have got it for you. I will copy that. I will paste it here for you.
If you can, go give a couple dollars to Eric Miller. I will be doing that today. Link address.
What the fuck? Where's my What the
There's
oh,
AVA.
there.
Go watch one of his videos. We do appreciate it. And yeah, I will be around today if you guys need me. But beyond that, thank you for being worth serving.
Yeah. Yeet.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive, big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking to lighten her load.